headquarters for police on Laurel. You got T-160, which is a security vehicle. Typically, their supervisor will be around here or down by via Centro Station or Centro Hub. We'll wait out here for a little while. I'm sure they'll see that I'm out here and want to come out. Can you get a supervisor for Allied Barton down here? Or Allied Universal?
Yeah, for what's the reason?
I've got a couple of complaints about one of your guards out at the Randolph Park and Ride. I've got some video he needs to look at. Your guard's acting inappropriate out there, so.
Yeah, I'm a supervisor, but I'm already off of the clock. Does it bother you, or do you want me to get the one that is in charge right now?
For Allied Universal, I don't need a police supervisor. I need one of your guys.
We work with Allied Universal.
Yeah, so whoever the next Allied Universal supervisor is fine.
You'll be here for a while?
Yeah, I'll be here until they show up. And I'm sorry, your name's Montalvo?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've noticed your guards don't wear their last names on their uniforms like they're supposed to.
Yeah, most of them they have the BA badge.
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean that's why I said. I mean, I could see that, and it's passable. I'll give it that way. I'll put it that way. But when your guards cover up their name tags and then you ask them for their name, they say, "I don't have to give you that." It's unprofessional. It's also a violation of 3514. But this goes a lot further than that with this guard out there. So I'll discuss it with the supervisor on duty. Hey, how you doing today? You know who I am and what I do, right? So okay.
Let me step over this way.
Yeah, let's get out of the sun. We're out of at least out of the road. I'm gonna try to stay downwind of you since I am smoking. For my records, I know I've talked to you before, but my memory's bad. What's your name again?
Sergeant Howe.
Hal. Okay,
yeah,
no.
This is our first time meeting.
Okay. I see you guys a lot, and I mean,
yeah.
Since you knew my name, I mean, I know all you guys know who I am, what I do.
Yeah.
Has your guard out at Randolph already talked to you about the incident out there?
I already talked to him about that. I actually saw the video.
Okay.
What he does is, with his work phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I've known this guy for 4 years.
Okay.
He walks like this with his phone, just like this.
Okay.
So that's what probably happened there.
That's not actually why I'm calling you. I don't know what he told you. So.
No.
You called him about today.
Yeah, today.
Oh, yeah, he
today.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about the one in the video that.
No. There was an event today. So your guard out at Randolph talked to you about it, and he's where I went up. I introduced myself. I was polite, told him what I do. I asked him for his last name because it wasn't displayed. He got argumentative. His friend. Down here now at San Pedro, more than likely I'll be able to find a supervisor for Allied Universal's guards. Got argumentative, and I'm going to compliment your guard. I don't do this often, so this is something that you should let him know. He did the right thing. He told his friend, hey, stay out of this, and that was a good thing for him to do. But then he went 180 after that. He did something totally so out of line. That's why I'm down here talking to you guys.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to argue with you. If you would have just told me your last name so I can document it and do my thing, that would have been the end of it. But as a guard, your last name's supposed to be displayed on your uniform. I went and I did my thing. I went and I sat in my car. I bought a soda there. I'm drinking my soda. I'm reviewing other video. Had another guard, one of your other guards out at the 281 location did the same thing. And I'm like, I will get to their supervisors. But that's not like a huge, what I'm saying? It's not like a life or death thing. But the guards need to know that if they don't want to display their name, or for example, their name is underneath their reflective vest at the time, then if somebody asks them, they need to stop doing this. I don't need to tell you anything, because if I want to be a prick right now, I've got about 20 of your guards that I can go to the Texas Private Board Security and say, okay, start giving these guys $25 fines. Here's all the photo evidence. I'm not that way. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, make sure that guards understand, hey, somebody asks you your name, especially someone who walks up and is polite. And I'm like, my name's Tori, this is what I'm doing. I'm sure they warned you about me. You know, so anyway, so the guard out here today, I go off, I do my thing. I'm sitting in my car and I see him talking to another guy. And the first guy that he was talking, he walks over by my car and he's giving me dirty looks. And I'm like, man, I hope this guy doesn't try to make this his business again. You know, I mean, because some people, I can't blame that on the guard if he does. But he snaps a picture of my car and I'm like, hey, I'm a rights guy. I'm like, I'm in public, film all you want. That's not going to bother me. I don't know what you think, you know. So, you know, and he goes back. But then the guard had another person walk up behind my vehicle, like this close behind my vehicle, filming it. And I see the guy approaching me. I don't know what his intent is. So, you know, I'm looking at him. I turn on my body cam, this one. And I'm like, because I have my cell phone, and I'm going to show you the video in a second. I have that down here, and I'm watching it, and I'm about to edit things. And so, you know, he sees I see him, and he's like, oh, hey, no, nothing, I'm sorry. And he walks back. And so I take my body cam down. It was on my dash. And I keep it there so it shows me, you know, and it had him in the back. And I take it down, and I follow him back to where he's going. I'm like, that's just strange. I don't know what the deal is. He walks right up to your guard underneath a surveillance camera. And I'm like, if you're going to do stupid stuff, don't do it under surveillance cameras. He hands the phone to the guard. And I'm like, I don't care that you gave the guard my license plate. But honestly, if your guard wanted my license plate, he could have walked out to the parking lot and did it. Instead, he involved a third party. So I wait for a supervisor to get out there because I'm saying he's probably called a supervisor. Good, a vehicle showed up. It was 128. It wasn't one of you guys, but I didn't know that. I saw it and I was like, okay, I'll go talk to him. I'll park my vehicle and I'll show you that part of the video. But again, this is where your guard went way out of line. If he is asking citizens, I don't care if they're his friends, I don't care if they're his buddies. He asked a citizen to go take a picture of me to use for his official business. Guess what? That phone, that's public information now because he used it. And he may not like it, but I can FOIA request his buddy's phone because he used it in a government capacity. I'm not doing that. I don't know if it's his phone that he handed to the guy. I don't really care. It's like I said, I don't care about the fact that he took a picture of my phone, of my license plate. What I care about is he went and got someone else to do it. And I asked him, I said, so is that guy a VIA employee? And I told him, I said, hey, I noticed what you did. I've got it all on camera. And he's like, I said, I parked right here if you want to get a better picture of my license plate. Is that guy a VIA employee? And he didn't answer. I said, well, I'll go find out. And I go up and I say, hey, notice you took a picture of my license plate. I'm not mad about it. It's perfectly legal. And of course, that guy gets all mad. He wants to start fighting. And I'm like, you know, whatever. I'm de-escalating, you know, the way I walked up and the way I talked to him. And I'm like, well, you know, it's strange to me. You want to come up and film me, but you're upset if I film you doing it. And then he goes back, you know, past the guard, and he's making threats in front of his friend, the guard. Your guard didn't handle that right. At that point, your guard should have told him, hey, you can't make threats on the property either. But he didn't. Why? Because the guard is upset that I do what I do. And I get that he's upset, but that's the whole point of why we do what we do. There would have been no issue out there today. I would have been off the site in 30 seconds. And I'm going to tell you, what happened if I jumped out of my car, felt he was a threat because of the way he was approaching me. We had a fight. Things got escalated or whatever. The guy ends up going to the hospital or injuring me and then says, but the guard told me to do that. Huge lawsuit for you guys. Right. And again, your guard may not realize that. He's not thinking on that level. Right. So anyway, I go and I do my thing. The rest of this, I walk in, I get a soda.
So the guard comes up and follows you then?
No, the guard, he's doing his thing. He's standing back there. From this point, I don't have a problem with the guard. From this point, it goes to another video. But I take a picture of this map. I walk around. You've got a soda machine that has the same price for every soda but one in there. Again, that's not your issue, but that's one of the things I bring up. I'm like, so if I put in $2.25 and I push the button, it doesn't give me a refund. What are they going to say? I mean, I know it's $2.50. All the other ones are, but it's labeled. So I mean, like I said, you'll see. I document that here in a second. When I go in, I purchase that. I notice that your change machine is working. That's one of the things I check because I don't know if you guys know it, but VIA stopped giving change vouchers if it's under $1 if you get on a bus. So like if you put a $5 bill in there, it's over $1, they're going to give you a voucher, but no cash value. So you've got to use all that. So if I have a 20 on me and I put it in the bus, it used to give you a voucher and you could take it to wherever and they give you your change. They don't do that anymore. So the change machines are critical for me, and that's why I check on them. I'm like, okay, the change machine's working. I said, so that's one of the reasons why I do what I do. A lot of people are like, you're just out here harassing the guard. And I'm like, I could have sat there and argued with your guard. I could have said, hey, you need to get your supervisor out here. You're out of uniform. I'll call, the Texas Department of Public Safety, Private Security Board Bureau. Matter of fact, I'll get on TOPS right now and log the complaint. I mean, you know what the TOPS website is.
Yeah.
Either way. And I'm like, I could have been a jerk. And I'm like, again, for me, it's not about getting a guy a $25 fine. It's about, hey, I'm like, okay, no problem. I have plenty of guards who don't identify. When I talk to a supervisor, they'll get that out. Not a huge issue. The huge issue, there's nothing really more here other than I go back to my car on this video. There's like 6 minutes. I'm just showing you that so that you're not like, oh, he's cutting something out. This video is after I noticed this is my vehicle that I parked, and I'm getting out after I saw what I thought was one of your supervisor cars go up to the guard.
Oh.
And I was parked on the far side of the parking lot. So I see it, and then I realize, okay, it's not, but I'll talk to the guard. And you can hold it if you want to see it better. I mean, either way. This is just your guard. He doesn't even try to deny what he did, getting the other guy to go over there. But again, someone needs to explain to him, and I'm not saying he needs to be fired, but someone needs to tell him, dude, do you realize that you put that guy in a position, no matter what would have happened, he could have sued the city, and I could have sued the city too. That guy came over and said whatever he said to me. And I said, you're walking up suspiciously on me. A lot of people don't know that there's no crime in someone, taking pictures in public. And I apologize.
Absolutely nothing illegal about what he did. What I'm telling you is the vehicle's parked right there if you want to get another picture of the license plate. Okay.
So
is this person a VIA employee?
So I'm walking around to where the person actually handed him the picture, and this is why I said it's incredibly stupid to me that your guard would even do it. He did it right in front of the surveillance camera that's right up in this corner. It'll actually be on picture in a second. But this is the gentleman, and you notice I'm not aiming my camera at him. I'm talking to him.
Saw you took a picture of my license plate. I'm not mad about it. Nothing illegal with you doing
As soon as he gets mad and acts, then I put my camera on him. You see what I'm saying? I'm keeping my camera off because I want to have a conversation and be polite.
I was just wondering if you're actually a VIA employee since you gave that film to this guy.
Now you see there's a surveillance camera up there.
Oh, yeah.
On my body camera, which is what I pulled down and tracked the guy going back, because I'm like, he's taking a picture for his use or whatever, and I see him hand the phone to that guy right underneath the surveillance camera. And I'm like,
It's perfectly legal to do that.
I don't think the guard understands, again, that's the liability issue. And again, if this guy is a VIA employee, maybe that's a little bit different, but he's not a VIA employee.
Right.
If he is, he's out of uniform, and again, that goes back to a liability issue. Even if your guard, even if he was a guard, if he's not in uniform, and he comes up behind someone's vehicle, and like I said, when he approached my vehicle, he got within 2 feet and he was walking towards the driver's door, and my window was down, and I look up, and he realizes I see him, and I say, oh,